In the world of soap opera, a single, cataclysmic event is never just a plot device. It is a narrative earthquake, sending fault lines through every character it touches and unearthing secrets long buried. The Corriedale crossover collision that opened 2026 was precisely this. A spectacular moment of chaos that has since resolved into a quieter, more profound season of reckoning for Weatherfield. The multi-vehicle pileup was not an ending, but a violent genesis, a crucible that forged new alliances, exposed hidden truths, and left the community staggering under the weight of collective and individual guilt. As a new trailer signals, the physical wreckage may have been cleared, but the emotional and moral debris continues to choke the street, promising that the crash's true impact is only just beginning to detonate. The most immediate and visceral aftershock is, of course, the death of Billy Mayhew. But Billy's fate is not a simple tragedy. It is an active, festering crime scene. Theo Silverton's calculated act of murder, strapping an unconscious Billy back into his seat, has transformed a beloved community figure into a ghost of accusation. Theo's subsequent, guilt-ravaged confession at Billy's coffin is a scene of exquisite dramatic tension. It reveals a fascinating crack in the narcissistic armor of an abuser. While coercive control and violence are tools he wields without remorse, the cold finality of premeditated murder haunts him. His whispered apology is not for Billy, but for the irreversible stain on his own self-image. The slamming door that interrupts him is the sound of Theo's private hell becoming a public vulnerability. This unknown witness now holds a power greater than any of Theo's manipulations, the power of truth. The question hanging over the street is no longer just when will Todd escape, but will the witness speak before Theo, cornered and more dangerous than ever, silences them forever. This elevates the storyline from a domestic abuse plot into a gripping psychological thriller, where a single overheard word could trigger a catastrophic endgame. While Theo battles his conscience, Debbie Webster prepares to sacrifice her freedom for a lie. Her decision to take the rap for Carl, the true driver of the fateful car, is a poignant tragedy layered with the recent, shocking revelation of their true relationship. She is not his sister, but his mother. This twist reframes her sacrifice not as misguided loyalty, but as a primal, maternal instinct to protect her child, regardless of the cost. As she awaits a sentencing that could see her spend her remaining years in prison, the injustice is palpable. Kevin Webster's helpless frustration underscores the tragedy. He sees the truth but is powerless against Debbie's steadfast, love-driven deception. Her likely imprisonment would be a second, slower-motion casualty of the crash, a life sentence born from a mother's love and a son's cowardice. It asks a painful question. In protecting one life she brought into the world, is she effectively ending her own? Elsewhere, the crash has served as a bizarre, chaotic catalyst for new beginnings and uncomfortable reunions. For Shona Platt, the trauma of going into labor at the scene has been compounded by the sudden appearance of Jody, a sister she never knew. In the aftermath of crisis, when facades fall and people are at their most raw, these familial revelations land with unique force. Jody's arrival is shrouded in mystery. Her bumpy integration suggests a past laden with its own secrets, threatening to introduce a new wave of disruption, just as Shona seeks stability. Similarly, Steve McDonald's fleeting glimpse of a face from the past, someone he thought he used to work with, is a classic soap harbinger. In the disorienting aftermath of the crash, such a sighting is more than nostalgia. It is an omen, a thread pulled from a forgotten tapestry that could unravel a whole new storyline, suggesting that the crash's reverberations will reach back into the street's long history. Even characters who emerged physically unscathed are grappling with the psychological fallout. For Carla Connor, a survivor of countless crises, the crash was another brutal reminder of life's fragility, likely compounding her own complex trauma as she navigates her fraught reconciliation with Lisa Swain. And for Lisa, who professionally dealt with the scene only to later arrest her own wife, Becky, the event has blurred painful lines between the personal and professional, leaving her to police the wreckage of her own life as well as the streets. As the community gathers for Billy's funeral, these disparate strands of guilt, sacrifice, and secrecy will be drawn together in a moment of heightened emotion. Funerals in soaps are never merely ceremonies. They are pressure cookers. Theo will be performing grief under the piercing gaze of a possible accuser. Debbie will be facing her community while carrying the burden of her impending sacrifice. Shona will be navigating new family dynamics amidst shared sorrow. It is the perfect storm for truths to slip out and masks to slip off. The Corriedale crash, therefore, has achieved something masterful. It has reset the emotional landscape of Coronation Street. It proved that in an age of sensational stunts, the real drama lies not in the explosion, but in the silence that follows, the quiet torment of a killer, the resigned sigh of a mother heading to prison, the uncertain hello of a newfound sister. The secrets birthed in that chaos are now living, breathing entities on the street, refusing to stay buried. As the trailer intimates, the aftermath is a story of its own, a haunting, relentless exploration of how one moment of impact can send countless lives spiraling on new, collision-bound paths, ensuring that the echoes of that night on the road will be heard on the cobbles for a long time to come.